Hello, and we are reacting today to Jacob Collier's new album.
Djesse Volume 3.
How do you feel about this, Inti?
I can't wait. We've reacted to Jacob Collier quite a bit. It's early in the morning right now in England, so his yawny voice will feel nice.
Yeah, this is why I'm not hugely excited to listen to this at this time, because it's early in the morning, I've got work to do in the rest of the day, and already I find Jacob Collier quite soporific. It's not the kind of music that I normally like listening to. I like listening to stuff that's quite fast paced, that's more upbeat. Whereas, I'm not going to be able to do anything else the rest of the day, because I'm going to have listened to a whole half album of...
That sounded like, you know when you go to the theatre and you hear the orchestra kind of warming up their instruments? Yeah. That sounded like an electronic version of that.
Yeah, I guess that maybe that is exactly the intention. Yeah, it's like that vamping up. It also feels like a bit of a, like ginger in sushi, like that palate cleanser.
Yeah.
Like if you have been listening, if you're listening to these in order, these like you said, the musical universes he's creating with the different albums. Like if you've just listened to the previous album that's very yawny and synthy, it's like
shake it off. Shake off all that yawn.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a dog coming out from the water and just shaking off all that yawn.
This is so cool, and yeah, to me, because I don't know much about music, so Jacob Collier's normal stuff that I've heard, I guess it just goes over my head because there's probably lots of clever music in it, but to me it just sounds like, okay, it's 100 voices laid on top of each other, really synthy, really saccharine, and I find it not interesting. Whereas, to me, this is like, oh yeah, this is an actual song.
And it's manic, it's truly manic. There's glass smashing, there's a little banjo that comes in for a tiny solo. I think what he's done to his voice is, I think, he's rapped it slower, sped it up, and it's changed the tone of his voice as well, because it doesn't really sound like Jacob Collier that much when he's going, synchronize, have a cup of tea.
That's interesting. To me, it doesn't sound like there's a change in pitch. But yeah, I can believe that maybe he rapped it slower and then sped it up without changing the pitch. I mean, I'm glad that he didn't make it like Chipmunk, because that is really annoying.
I love a good opening to an album.
Yeah, it was a really great, punchy opening.
And T-Pain has such a distinct T-Pain sound. Whenever he comes in with that auto-tuney voice, it's such a T-Pain sound. It just makes me feel happy inside. It makes me feel warm inside.
It's amazing to think that is just how his voice sounds. Imagine him ordering like a cup of coffee at Starbucks.
It's actually quite annoying.
Yeah, he normally doesn't get served.
Be my fantasy, be my blush, feel my touch, baby you can say, I'm trying to get it funky feeling all day. So use it I get this feeling.
In My Bones with Kimbra and Tank and the Bangas. Oh, there was 3 extra people. Kimbra and Tank and the Bangas. Oh, I only saw 2 extra people.
Well, there was, I don't know. Who was the guy who was rapping in a higher pitched voice? Maybe that was one of them, or was that Jacob Collier?
That was Jacob Collier.
Oh.
Chipmunk in his voice slightly.
Yeah, he's going to increment that in each one of these songs as we go forward. Like the first song we listened to, it was Jacob Collier rapping, but not very up pitch much. And I go, good, with a cup of tea. And then this one, it's like, it's in my bones. No, it's just going to keep going up. That's the concept for this album. And the last song, the 5th one, is going to be a dog whistle.
I feel like I've heard that melody a few times. There's a funky feeling in my bones.
Is that because it's in
4.
4/4.
Boring old 4/4. It probably wasn't in 4/4 knowing Jacob Collier.
Yeah, what time signature do you think that song was in?
He's probably counting in 120.
Yeah.
I found it hard to get all the rapping.
Yeah.
Kind of felt
Yeah,
like
for me it feels like the rapping in, especially in the previous song, Cup of Tea, and in this song to some extent as well, it feels like the rapping is just an instrument. Like, I'm not... Yeah, I don't find myself trying to understand it in the way that I would when I listen to other songs. It's just like, oh yeah, it's just another instrument. It's, yeah, just like part of the sound of this song. I like as well that this song, that, you know, it's got a funkiness, got a poppiness to it, but then there are these little breaks where you hear that really signature Jacob Collier thing where it'll be like, ba-da-ba-da-boo, ba-da-ba-da-boo, ba-ba.
100 Jacob Collier voices.
Yeah.
At times we may find our hearts grow heavy. So good, so bright. You're all I need.
And that was Time Alone with You, feat. Daniel Caesar.
What did you think?
Oh, it was, he definitely did the voice modulation thing again, and he was even more chipmunky than usual. Which was nice. Nice to do that to your voice. I feel like that's like a new toy that he's found, that he's playing with it throughout this whole album.
What, like speeding up his voice?
Yeah, and changing the pitch so it's a bit higher.
Like he's discovered it. Like Jacob Collier, this musical maestro, after like years of making all these songs, he's like, hey, did you guys know that there's a button that makes your voice higher? Wow, man, I'm putting this in everything.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you are used to just recording your own voice and layering it 1,000 times, where it's just Jacob Collier's voice in your ear loads, then it can start to sound a bit alien-y. At least with this effect, it starts to sound like quite a few different people, even though I think it is still all mostly Jacob Collier. But he's modulated his voice and his pitch that now it sounds less alien-y when he's like...
Okay, that sounds less alien.
Yeah, it sounds less alien-y and more chipmunky.
It's not for me. I very much did not enjoy it, but, you know.
What about it was unenjoyable to you? Was it the message of the song? You're like, I don't want time alone with anyone. I'd rather just be with either a big group of people or by myself.
Yeah, I don't want to be just stuck with one person. Like, I would have preferred the song if it had the opposite message instead of like, oh, I want time alone with you. Because it's like we're in quarantine. Like, people don't want time alone with one person anymore. People want to be out with their friends. So, like, I think this song would have been much better musically and more sophisticated if it was quarantine, it really sucks, fuck this disease. Like,
Blink-182 style.
oh, I guess. I wasn't thinking of them, but yeah, I guess so. I mean, now that you, because you were the one who brought them up,
yeah,
so
yeah.
yeah, now that you mention it, I do think this Jacob Collier song would have been better musically if it had gone quarantine.
Can I just say to our audience, we've done a reaction to Blink-182, and Kit knows I dislike that song a lot.
And I liked it.
And then he has the temerity,
the audacity, which is where you can make your voice higher.
to not to not want to revisit the video of the song that he didn't like, the Cardi B one. He was like, I didn't like that song so much so that I'm not even going to watch the video properly. And then he brings up Blink-182 again, knowing full well it's going to dampen my mood. Thinking of his
I can't believe we're fighting after listening to such a sleep-inducing song.
I'll be singing in the starlight underneath the moonlight. Oh no, 'cause I love your smile and it makes me feel alright.
That was All I Need with Mahalia and Ty Dolla $ign. I like how he spelled sign on the word sign.
Yeah, but very, very good. Well done, Ty Dolla $ign.
All I Need. Sometimes I think you need water. These are the things you need. You need water, you need food, you need air. And
You
yeah,
spell
like
your name with the $sign.
you spell your name with a $, and then yeah, all you do need is like a good friend or a good partner, and then you can have a happy life.
Yeah, I mean, I would have been content not having to spend 4 minutes listening to the song for that. Like, I would have been content for Jacob Collier just to post a JPEG of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Just be like, here are the things a human needs to be flourishing. I could have looked at that in 10 seconds and been like, okay, got it.
You could make an argument that, you shouldn't go into a relationship needing that person. You should be a fully contented human.
Yeah.
And bring your contentment to the relationship. Not, this is something I need. That might put a strain on the relationship.
Yeah, totally. You need to, I completely agree with that, yeah. That you need to be...
Is that why we're both
You
single?
need to be able to be single, and you need to be comfortable being single and being your own person in order to then be able to be in a relationship without, needing to be completed, without needing to rely on the other person. Although, having said that, maybe there are people who do have things that they need other, like, I do know people where it sounds like one of them is really mentally ill. Well, not really mentally, but like one of them has, like stuff where it does sound like, you do take care of your partner quite a lot. Okay, that's how that relationship works. Fair enough.
You're saying Jacob Collier's song is for mental patients?
What I'm saying is the song... But then Jacob Collier said it for me, so it's okay. What I want to say is...
What I want to say is... I've been sleeping in the sunlight, in the moonlight, all night.
Is that really what you want to say?
All night. There's something cool about, I like that line, and I think it's so cool, and I think a lot of cool artists use it. I love your smile and it makes me feel alright. I like it when they use words like alright, not like it made me feel ecstatic or it made me feel amazing, your smile. It just made me feel alright, and alright is good enough. Like, alright is just like a cool feeling. It just makes you feel alright. I fucking love that kind of stuff. Because I don't like overly doting.
Yeah,
That's
it
annoying.
feels more genuine because it is underplayed instead of overplayed, where you feel like it's not genuine. And that song, who's the song by that goes, wow, so good, so good, who's that by?
James Brown?
Okay,
Yeah, cool.
So James Brown, that song, the first verse is the one everyone knows, the one where it goes, I feel good, so good, so good, I got a you.
Yeah.
Whereas
The second verse.
then it goes, so nice, so nice. And it's funny because today, nice, and maybe still back then, but I feel especially so today, it was nice.
Have you heard the third
Like, it's
verse though? I feel okay.
So adequate!
I feel neutral. Like it keeps going. I feel neutral, and then where does it go after that?
I feel slightly sad, so melancholic. Which is how I feel after listening to All I Need by Jacob Collier.
This album so far has gone from quite good and slowly got worse for you.
So for me, this album is the James Brown song.
Yeah. You're going to be listening to part 2 maybe next week or in a few days or whenever we got the time. But I'm quite enjoying the album. One song I didn't like that much, but I like the variety of the album. If it was all like the first song, I would be getting sick. There's a variety here, and I like what he's trying to do, exploring this universe. If you want to hear more of Kit, follow him on Facebook.
No, don't. Or look up the second sketch wherever you listen to podcasts, which is my sketch show.
Hey!
And if you want to hear more of Inti, go to wherever you listen to podcasts and search Love Pill the Musical.
Make sure you smash that pause button.
You don't need to be paused because they've paused us already.
Just in case they don't, we'll trick them into thinking we have. Okay,
Emulated,
smash that pause button.